Hello, we're back. We're recording part 2 of this video. So if you've not already done doubling and conversion, make sure you go back and follow those as well. So we've already been through all of this. We've already been through all of this. So again, go back, make sure that you pause on those screens if you need to get that instruction again or to get that those answers correct. So the next thing we're going to talk about is area. If you were to lay out your nori or seaweed exactly as shown in the directions, what would the area of your seaweed be in centimeters? Draw a picture of your thinking. And I'm actually just going to skip right to the answer because it shows it really well. So notice it shows in our recipe that 30 centimeters times 10 centimeters is what our sushi square, that big rectangle of seaweed that we're laying out flat that we're going to eventually roll up into the sushi roll, that is here, which that question is more about reading. So good for you if you're following along with me. You're saved the punishment of having to look through the recipe to find where that is. So my rectangle is supposed to be 10 centimeters. One thing I want to point out is that this is a polygon, right? Let's talk about rectangles for a second. This is a polygon because it's a closed shape, or at least it should be. It has straight sides. And this is actually a special kind of polygon. This is a quadrilateral because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. And it is also it's a rectangle because each of these are right angles. Just some fun extra geometry for you. This side is 10 centimeters. This side is 30 centimeters. So to find the area, you multiply the length times the width. Length times the width. And there's another whole video that will go through area perimeter with you if you are interested. So 10 times 30. And this is another song for your toolbox if you want it. I see here that I have 2 whole numbers that end in zeros. And I don't think I'm going to erase this. I'm going to be really sad at myself that I erased it in like 2 seconds. But if I have 10 times 30, I see that I have 2 whole numbers and they both end in zeros. So I have a special rule that I can use with that. If I must multiply 2 whole numbers with zeros, multiply the front digits like normal and add the O's. This is because we're just moving it over in the place value system. So I notice that I have 1 and 3, so I multiply those together to get 3. Then I have 2 zeros, so I just add those 2 zeros behind. So my answer is 300 centimeters, and I'm now realizing that I made a mistake. It should say 300 centimeters squared, because whenever we're doing area, our units should be squared. And finally, we have a critical thinking question. The average sushi roll has a radius of 1 2/10. I'm going to draw that out right away because for me in math, the hardest thing is understanding what the question is actually asking. And so I think we would all be a little bit better off if we stopped, take a deep breath, and really ask ourselves, what is that question asking? So it has a radius of 1.2. And it's saying if you had 5 sushi rolls lined up next to each other, what is the minimum size you would need the distance across on a plate? So let's review a little bit about circles. So this is my circle. I know it's hard to see, I'm sorry. So this, just a review, I'm going to draw this bigger. I'm looking at my screen and there's no way I can see it, so I'm sure there's no way you can see it. Big sushi circle, right? Distance around is the circumference. This is the center, and anything that goes from the center to the outside of the circle or the circumference is going to be the radius. So my radius is 1.2, but that only tells me halfway across my circle. I want the full way across, so I need to add 1 radius plus another radius. So I need to do 1.2 or 1 2/10 plus 1.2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. Most important thing when adding and subtracting decimals is to line it up, 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 line it up, 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 line it up, up, up at the decimal. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then we bring it down, bring it down, so the whole distance across my sushi is 2.4. So if you think about it, each piece of sushi, and I have 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is going to be 2.4 across. So this sounds like a perfect time to multiply decimals by a whole number. We're multiplying 5, just to be clear, because we have 5 sushi rolls, by 2.4. When multiplying a decimal by a whole number, we count the digits in the decimal. That's the number of boxes found. We put the whole number on the left, the decimal on top. We separate the decimal by its place value, then stop. Multiply each box by the side and top. If it's over 9, rebundle the box. So we have 10 ones and 20 tenths, but I can't keep 20 tenths. So I actually need to rebundle this, move it over, and this becomes 12. Let's see how that stacks up with our actual question. Yep, so it's showing you there too a really good representation of all 5 sushis together and how we go from having the radius on the far left to showing the full diameter on that second one to all 5 across being 12 centimeters. So that's our math lesson today. I will see you tomorrow. Have fun learning.